All right. Well, good
Hi,
morning,
Judy.
everyone. Lovely to have you here again this morning, this evening, whatever it is in your country or in your timeline. So this morning, I'm going to talk about light language. So light language is, some of you might know it as a prayer language, a heavenly language, or speaking in tongues. So there's lots of different names for it, but I just want to open you guys up to the possibilities of light language. And I want you to remember this is an offer, right? It's completely free will. I'm sharing what is available to you if you want it. If you don't want it, that's fine. Just listen to the information and let it go. And as you grow in the spirit, you might at a later date decide, oh, what was that Dottie was talking about? So please just feel free. This is just like I said, it's an offer. It is there available for you if you want it. So I want you also to realize I'm not saying you can only speak to the creator if you have this language. And I'm not saying all that move in seeing and actually have have the ability to get downloads or connect in the spirit, that if they don't have this language, then they're not connecting into the true source. All right. This is one of the spiritual gifts, and it's there if you want it. It's like I'm giving everything on the table. So you guys, like a big banqueting table, and you can choose what you want to implement in your life. All right. So let's get on with it. Right. This is a powerful activation. It awakens your blueprint so you can consciously align with your purpose and destiny, both on the earth and in the spirit, with complete connection with the creator and creation. So part of what my experience was when I had my incredible transformation in the spirit by just asking God to come into my heart, it was like I wanted everything. I want everything he's got for me. It was like it's full abandonment of self, full abandonment of my own, my own desires, my own agenda, what I thought my life should look like. It was just a complete surrender, and I just wanted all that he had for me. And, I was fortunate to be with people that had activated their light language. And I'm like, I want that. Well, it took a couple of weeks for me to get it, but I just kept wanting it. And for me, it was just a hunger. And that's where I kind of set my heart and going, I want this. I didn't want to miss out on anything, because I am that type of person too. Can I say that? So, it's a powerful activation. And it's scriptural for those that need a scripture. It's 1 Corinthians 14, and it says, for he who speaks in an unknown tongue speaks not to man, but to God, the creator, who speaks mysteries. And you know what? I love God's mysteries. I love how he moves and what he does and how he reveals things. I just find life with God is fun. Doesn't mean that I don't go through situations or circumstances, but I don't look at them as punishment or a trial. I embrace them as a learning. I embrace them as growth. I embrace them as a momentum of movement, of coming up higher and, becoming bigger in the spirit. So I never look at things, that happened around me, and I've been through plenty, where I just go, God doesn't like me and he's punishing me. And I'm feeling to actually bring a talk about who God really is. Because once we get a hold of that truth, life changes, and it changes dramatically. So people, I'm going to share with you some different names of people that tend to move in the spirit or bringing insight. So some of you will be, well, most of you will be very familiar with them, but I want to do a breakdown on what that looks like as well. So often it's oracles is a word that people are called. Seers, if you've got church background, prophets is a very common word for you. And then also it's so let me just back up to an oracle is a person who serves as a mouthpiece of a deity or a god. A seer is a person who prophesies future events and is insightful. And a prophet, one who reveals through divine inspiration. Now, you can be all three of those, right? There's no boxes here. There's no, this is where you sit. This is all you can do, which is part of, again, religion has done that. It's like, well, you know, you're a pastor or you're an evangelist or you're a prophet or, oh, guess what? You're all got the ministry of helps, right? And this is it. When people start putting you in a box, they start diminishing what you carry and what you bring. So anyone that puts me in a box, I go, no, thank you. Don't put me in a box. Not having that. All right, other names. So we, you know, very common on the streets sort of thing is a psychic or a clairvoyant. And I want to give you some meanings, guys, because there is differences. So a psychic and a clairvoyant is believed to possess psychic abilities at a higher level. Then you've got soothsayers, one who predicts future by reason, intuition, or magic. Fortune tellers, ones that tell what they think will happen in the future. Futurist, one that studies and predicts the future. A forecaster, someone that makes predictions of the future. And divination, one that conjures up the dead, right? So these are some of the names that people refer to themselves as, you know, moving in the things of the spirit. Now, I'm all about having that pure connection. And this is why I love this gift and I do use it. You know, especially when I first encountered it and I was young, I used it all the time. And there's a reason for that, because my heart was, I never wanted to say anything that was not from the heart of God. Because I want the best for people, and God is the best. You know, tapping into him is the best. There's nothing, there's lots of, you know, side steps, but to me, this is the purest connection. And it's helped me through my entire life. It's saved me. It's directed me. It's helped me bring breakthrough for other people. You know, it taps into wisdom. It does so many beautiful things. And we're all hungry for that. And I feel with what's happening globally, there is a lot of deception pushing back as the truth is starting to be revealed. So we're getting a lot of people that are touching a pinch of truth, but then there's a whole lot of rubbish attached to it. And this is where this gift helps you discern that. It helps you bypass the manipulation or the energy that they're carrying, which is trying to influence you, their intent, their agenda. And then it brings you into a place of, I know what I need to do, right? So you know that you can keep walking in the path that you're designed to do. So oracles are seers or prophets. Prophecy means to say a specific thing will happen in the future, To predict is to utter by or as if by divine inspiration, to predict with assurance. Prophecy in scripture states it is to speak to others to edify, exhort, and comfort. Now, I use this as a really good guideline for when I'm doing things in the spirit. It's like you can never over encourage or edify or comfort anybody, right? So it's a really good place to stay. It's a really good place to grow from. That, it's like you feel where they're at, as in they're feeling a bit down or they're feeling unhappy, that you come in with a word of encouragement. And you know what? It's time we took it out on the streets and got out of the four walls of the church, because it's out there that needs the edification and comfort and being, exhorted. And it's fun to do because people, when, I can be in the shopping center and I'll look at someone and I'll just go up to them. I go, you know what? You are an amazing mum. Now, their kids are on the ground throwing a tanty. They're beside themselves. But to just come with that word that going, you know what? You're doing a really good job. Like, is there anything that I can help you with? Or just let them know, look, I get it. I get it. I feel for you. I realize that it's hard to be a parent. It's hard to be a mum. And just those words can shift that person's life. They can come out of despair and anguish and realize, someone actually understands what's happening for me right now. Because too often we stay in judgment or criticism. And you hear it all the time. Oh, well, if I was that mother, this is what I would do. And you're like, but you're not. And you do not know the whole history of that child. They're just presuming and making assumptions. So edification and encouragement, we can never get too much. We really cannot. In fact, I reckon it'd be great if we were a community that actually does lots of it and not be afraid. Because sometimes people go, oh, yeah, well, I'll fluff up their ego. Well, that's their problem, not yours. So let me just say this. There's a caution. Beware of the false prophets, or with wrong motives, wrong intent. Not everyone that uses insight are coming from the right realm or the right heart. And this is where you need that discernment to feel the intent and the life frequency on the words spoken. So for me, this is what it looks like. When someone is saying that they've got something from God, I'll share a funny story with this one. It's got life on it. It's like it lifts you up, or you can feel the presence, the frequency of God on it. If people are trying to manipulate you and try and get you to do something they want you to do, and I've heard this time and time again. I've witnessed this. A lot of churches, even New Ages, or a lot of communities where they have such a guru or someone that's in charge, a pastor, whatever. They're deciding who can marry who. I just go, what? Now, when I was young, when I was 23, 24, I had a young man in our community at that time come up, and I really respected this young man because he was very in tune in the spirit, and we did a lot of work together. So I had a lot of respect for him. And he came up to me after 12 months of doing things together, and he goes, oh, God's told me that you're to be my wife. And I just went, okay, how do I handle this? And I went, oh, well, he hasn't told me that, was my comeback. And then I went home and I cried. I cried and cried and cried, because this this gentleman is this guy that it was lovely as he was. There was no attraction to him. There was nothing about him that I was like, I wanted him to be my husband, right? So, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, God's going to make me marry this person, and I don't have any attraction to this guy. Like, there's nothing. And and then my brother found me. He said, what's wrong? I said, and I told him what happened. And he said to me, that is not God's will for you. Right. And he set me straight. And because I was so surrendered that he's like, if that's what you want me to do, God, I'll do it. But it's not what I want. And I learned a valuable lesson, because God always moves with you. He never makes you do anything that you don't want to do. And I was like, I went back to him. I said, nah, I'm sorry, you got that wrong. But yeah, it kind of, I was like, what? But I handled it really well without rejecting him or going, nah, yeah, I just went, oh, well, God hasn't told me that. And we're still really good friends today. And he ended up finding a perfect wife for himself, and that was great. So, you have to test when someone starts giving you a directive and saying, God told me that you have to do this, right? And it's really important that you don't get caught up in it. Step back and get wisdom. Get God's heart on the situation. A lot of ministers use it to get money, and it's so wrong. And they promise, God's return and abundance and blessings, but actually that's not what happens, because they've given money according to what a man has directed them to do. There is no blessing on it. There is no prosperity on it, because it wasn't what God had directed you to do. And this is everything in life, guys. You need to stay true to what you are called to do. Are there times there's compromise? Absolutely, especially when you're married or in a relationship. There is compromise, but you need to work through, okay, this is who God's called you to be, and this is who God's called me to be. You need to allow the person that you're with to be and express who God has designed them to be. If you are a blockage to your partner walking in their true calling and destiny, and it can evolve and grow as you mature, then I'm sorry, but sometimes God will have to say, you need to step out of the way. So, you please be open to allow one another to be and express what God has called you each to be. There are times that you do it together, and there's times that you do it separate. So just be really mindful of that. Don't hinder what God's wanting to do, even in growth. Sometimes we've got to sit back and just let the growth happen and get our hands and our hearts out of the way. And you need to do that with your kids too. So for me, light language is pure energy, which creates a direct connection to God Creator. So for me, light language is like having a direct line to God. It just like your normal language, it has different tones, it has different sounds, it can have a different pitch, it can be soft, it can be sweet, it can be strong, and it can be assertive, indicating intent and purpose and target. It is powerful and a useful gift tool in the spirit realm. So, like, if I don't get clarity on a situation, I'll go to my light language, because it removes all my emotions, all my thoughts. It separates it, and then I get this clear line to God. and then I'll pray in tongues, and then it's like the answer comes to me, or the insight will come to me. So this is where it's like I said, it's like this secure line direct to God that cannot be influenced. It cannot be infiltrated by anyone or anything, because it's a direct line. It bypasses and deals with any ego, any self-agenda, any preconceived ideas, my own thinking, my own programming, things that, we come from by default. We step in, and then it's like, nah, that's actually not what needed to happen here. And sometimes it's like my intent, it's like it can be a good intent. It can be from a place of, of kindness, but that isn't always the answer. Because sometimes we feel I'm going to call it this savior complex, where we feel we've got to save everybody. We've got to run around and fix all their problems and, make sure that their life is good. But that's actually not your responsibility. It's their responsibility and God's responsibility. And this is where we start to use wisdom, when we start to ask God, what do you want me to do? Because often I've run in thinking, oh, I'm going to help these people, and then it turns around and it's bitten me on the butt. There's been a ripple effect that has not been good for me or my family. So this is where it's really important that we have wisdom. So the beauty about speaking in tongues or a light language, whatever you guys want to call it, it activates areas in your brain that are connected to your spirituality. So let me explain it this way. The programming and the food and everything that we've been given shuts us down. They want us to be in this like stupor, subconscious shut down mode. That's where they want us to be, that we just go, oh, okay, yeah, okay. Oh, well, if you say so, right? And that's what's starting to shift. So I love the fact that scientifically it's been proven that when you speak in this light language, it activates every part of you, every part of your brain. So you start to align up with your right brain as much as your left brain. So let me explain this. They want us to stay in our left brain. That's how they've programmed us. Our right brain connects us more to our spirituality. And there's also your pineal gland. Lots of people talk about the pineal gland, and the foods and everything that we've eaten calcifies our pineal gland, which is also a spiritual receptor. So you can detox that. You can reverse that. Beetroot juice is a really good decalcifier, which starts to open up and detoxing is really good to start to get that calcification off your pineal gland. So that's just a little bit of a side note for you if you feel that you need to do that. But we start to function from all aspects of our being, not just in part. So the attributes that come when you're filled with the spirit, or when you've activated your light language, is this sense of awe and wonder. So let me go back to what happened when I was really hungry for receiving this gift. So I'm driving in the car, and I've got a friend with me, and I'm going, I really want this gift. And she had it, and I'm like, I want it. And she's like, well, you can have it too. And I'm like, well, okay, how do I get it? Now, I was driving in the car. Lots of things happen for me when I'm driving in the car. So I'm driving in my car, and she's speaking her language, right? And I'm going, I really want that. And I felt this stirring in my gut. It was like this bubbling. And I'm like, I felt like I was going to explode, because it was started to build up. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to do. Like, what do I do with it? And this is how I've helped a lot of other people, because we kind of go like this. And we kind of expect it to come out of our mouth, but we're like this. So it was like, no, we've got to work with it. We've got to move our mouth and make it start. So, you know, she gave me a few words to start with so that I was actually moving my mouth and working with it. And next minute, it just exploded. And I was just like speaking in my light language, and I was driving, and just as well as back in those days, there weren't so many police, because I was not only driving, we were flying, because I just took off energetically. And I just was, it was like every cell in my body was vibrating. And it was like a light switch had been turned on to another degree. I'd already been turned on in the spirit as far as my encounter, but this was another level. And look, it really opened up so many things. It opened up so many different portals. It opened up so many aspects to the spirit. But it was another layer. Remember, I shared with you that when I accepted God into my heart, I had this incredible encounter. I was 1 minute one person, next minute a completely transformation, another person. And then I could see into the spirit realm. But this was another level. So remember, this is an offer. There's no pressure here. It's for those that want it, can have it. For those that don't, that's okay. So it opens spiritual realms and it reveals truth. Now, remember what I was just saying about, when people are telling you that you've got to do something because God said so, and I tell you, that's a red flag for me straight away. You want truth to be revealed in what is actually happening there, right? I feel really sad for a lot of people that have been very manipulated by people in power, where they've gone, well, you serve me for the next 10 years and then I'll give you my church, or you do this for the next 15 years and then I'll do this. Anything with strings attached, forget it. God does not have strings attached. He's never said to me, Dot, if you do this, then I'll do that. Never. Everything that he presents is an offer. He does not want his creation to bow down to his every whim, because that is not a true relationship. You don't want a partner that bows down to your every whim either, because that's not a true relationship either, right? Because it doesn't become a unity. It doesn't become free will. I've never liked, Mother's Day and Christmas and stuff, because society is telling us this is the day that you have to buy your mother a present. I much prefer my kids to be really spontaneous and come from the heart and send me a word of love, or appreciation. Not because, it's Mother's Day and we have to. It's because they love me and it becomes genuine. And that whole energy intent on that gift or the card that they send me or that message that they send me, you just go, oh, wow, isn't that awesome? Because it's genuine and it's real. And we are coming into this era where it's time to be real. It's time to be genuine. There's just too much fraudulent stuff running around or deception and stuff like that, because there's a big shift, and that's what we're up against. It brings comfort. It brings clarity. It brings revelation. It brings insight, foresight. And you know how I say to you, it's like looking around the corner. You can see around corners. When you start moving in the spirit, whether it's through the light language or not, you can see past present, or future. And you get to choose timelines. This is what I love about, when I'm moving in my light language, I see. So I'll look at a situation and I'll hold it in my heart, going, okay, this is the situation. This is the offer. What does that look like for me down the track? Does it bring joy? Does it bring fun? Does it bring prosperity? Or is there going to be devastation? Is there going to be hurt? Is there going to be disappointment? And that's how I choose my paths. Because I look at some offers and I go, yeah, not touching that, because I'm already seeing what's going to happen down the track. Or I'm already seeing that person's true intent. They're not showing it now, but this is what's going to come down the track. So it saves you from a lot of things. And it keeps you, on that path where blessings flow, where good relationships are nurtured, where, life is fun, and where you feel loved and you have this continual connection with the Creator. I just want to say this: if you ever feel that God is far away, it's not God that's moved, it's you. God is ever present. And this is another lie that we've been told, where, if you don't do what God says, well, he's going to turn his back on you. He's going to punish you. Oh, the trials and tribulations. I'm going, to me, in all truth, if you're going to speak resurrection power, if you're going to speak that Jesus died on the cross to pay for all my sins, then why are we going through trials and tribulations? It says it. He took every curse. He took every sin. He took every trial. He took every persecution. So then why are we accepting that into our life if he's already dealt with it? See, this is a very subtle lie that religion starts to, permeate in and filter through to keep us bound, to keep us limited instead of limitless. Because it keeps you down, it keeps you a box, right? It's time to break out, everybody. So it's like light connected to light, love connected with love, source connected to source, and created us, connected with Creator. And then we're connected with all of creation. So you and I become more connected, because in the spirit, there is no time, no space, no distance. I can think of Jenny and I can feel where Jenny's at. And there are times I'll see her face and I go, okay, I see her beautiful face. And then I go, okay, what is it that you want me to do, Spirit? Just lift her up right now. She's having a hard day. And I lift her up. She doesn't know. I don't ring her up and go, guess what? I lifted you up today. How you feeling? It's like, it's just working with God. It's working with the Spirit. I do so much stuff in the Spirit because I love it that people don't even know what I do. I'm only just starting to talk about the things that I've done and the things that I do in the Spirit, because I don't need the accolade. I get complete fulfillment from being in a relationship with God, with my Creator. It brings incredible changes when a community gathers and speaks with a light language and a collective consciousness. It's like healing and freedom and bondage. People start to call forth the destiny of others. We can call forth the destiny of nations, of towns, suburbs, and we can break mindsets. We can and addictive bondages, and it dispels evil and negativity. It can change situations. So if I walk into a house and I can feel a real yuck presence, I just start in my light language. If nobody's home, I will do it out loud, and I will warfare. It will have, remember what I said, it can be soft and sweet, or it can be forceful with intent. So when you use your light language or tongues, it's you are shaping in your heart, forming up in your heart where you want it to go. Right? Sometimes it's like, I just want it to go out everywhere. And there's just this joy of speaking it, right? But sometimes it's an intent. If it's like, oh, that person needs help, and I'm framing up that person in my heart and in my mind, and I'm releasing that light language into that situation. And then I'll start to get answers. Now, let me see where we go from there. All right. Let me just touch on this for you. When you have a light language, you don't necessarily understand what you're saying. Okay? Because to some people, it sounds like babble. And I'm like, I get that. But you can ask for the interpretation, because it's like I speak in the spirit, but I also understand with the spirit. So what we're creating is this two-way conversation where I'm speaking a light language, and then I'm getting the interpretation or the understanding or the direction or the wisdom or the revelation. So it is information that's coming back to you. There's always been a real thing in churches about, oh, there's a prophet in town. When do they fill up the churches? When the prophet's in town. They're looking for, and it's really funny, because don't go to a clairvoyant, but let's go to the prophet because we want to know our future. But going to a clairvoyant, it's demonic. I go, hang on a minute. See the hypocrisy there, guys? It's like, what? Now, I don't go to clairvoyants. I don't go to prophets. I don't really go to anyone, because I've got this direct conversation. So if I'm asking God for direction or what my future looks like, I go into the spirit. I speak in tongues. I speak in my light language. And then I ask for the interpretation. Well, I've had the best prophecies that I have spoken over myself, because I got it direct from the throne. I got it directly from the heart of God. Sometimes God will bring someone that will confirm, remember, edification, exaltation, comfort, and they'll come and say, oh, I see this and this and this on you. Go, yep, that's right. It's a confirmation. God always confirms, but I don't go looking for confirmation. I don't go looking for words. And I feel that's part of the growth that we're stepping into, is that we need to start being, completely in touch to get what we need direct from God, directly in the spirit. It doesn't mean that if we're going through a problem that we don't ask for help. That's not what I'm saying. But as we start to mature, we start to realize that we can get a lot of answers ourselves. Now, that doesn't mean that I sit down with friends and I go, oh my gosh, I'm feeling this, because women need to unload, especially. We need someone to talk to. But that's not asking anybody to fix anything. I'm just downloading. I'm just releasing, because I find often, for me, when I have conversations with people, I start getting these answers, because I'm hearing what I'm saying and feeling, but then all of a sudden answers start to come. And I go, oh, that's what I need to do. Oh, okay, I need to bring forgiveness there. I need to let this go. I need to change directions. So these are the things that are for you. So what does it feel like? It's like a bubbling up in your lower belly. It's an energy welling up from the inside. It can be tingling all over the body. It's a vibration and energy surge, and it can feel like I explained before, it feels like you want to pop. It's like the cork needs to be popped, which is fun. So breath work like portals to express like language, bypass the brain, yet we're in control. This is free will, guys. Can cause a spiritual shift, an opening within you. It can release healing. But most of all, remember, as I explained, you've got to move your mouth. So let me tell you a story. I went to Africa. The Lord told me to go to Africa. I went to Africa. Boy, when I got there, I was like, oh my goodness, what the heck have I done? I stood out like as you can imagine, blonde hair, white, very interesting. And it was like a green grape amongst all the blue grapes. So yeah, it was very interesting. And when I got there, I was like, wow, what am I doing? Well, I met up with a pastor over there, and he took me out to a village. This is in Uganda. I went to Uganda, and the night before, the Lord showed me this. God showed me. He says, I want you to bring them all into a light language. I'm like, okay. So I taught about receiving the light language, and it went really well. I had an interpreter. And then as I was moving in the spirit, this rush of wind came into the building, this mud hut, and people started breaking out in the light language. But now here's the dilemma. They already speak a language I don't understand. So I'm like, well, how do I know who's got it and who hasn't? And I'm asking the spirit, and he goes, now look. And I saw tongues of fire above their heads, the ones that had received it. So that was really cool. And I was like, oh, okay, now I can see who's got it and who hasn't. So then I helped those that hadn't received it yet. And then they all got it. Like they hit the ground. Like it was pretty amazing, actually. And they were so grateful. They're really beautiful people. They were very grateful. And then the next day I came, and this is a little side story, and they came and presented me with chickens, live chickens. And as this was happening, I'm wanting to go, no, I don't want the chickens. I don't need the chickens. And the spirit said to me, he said, you receive this gift. Otherwise you will offend them. I went, oh, okay. So I received these 2 little chickens. They were so thin, poor things, and a whole heap of mangoes. And then, we took them home, and where I was staying, they cooked them up for dinner and made Kentucky Fried Chicken. Tell you, there was hardly anything on those poor little legs. But this is part of listening to the spirit, because my complete reaction was, no, I don't want your chickens. I don't need your chickens. I appreciate the gift, but no, I can't. I don't want to take them. And that would have been detrimental to what the spirit was doing in that village, because I would have insulted them, not intentionally, but that's what would have happened. So when you start moving with the spirit and with, the light language as well, and like I said right at the beginning, doesn't mean if you don't have this language that you don't move in the spirit. All right. This is what worked for me. I know it was an incredible gift. It's been an incredible tool, and I wouldn't give it up for anything. So it's an offer. So in 1 Corinthians 14:15, it says, I will pray with my spirit. In other words, communicate with God with my spirit, and I will also pray with my understanding, communicate with understanding. I will sing with my spirit, and I will sing with my understanding. And that's what I was sharing about, asking for understanding, asking for the interpretation. When you practice this and walk in it, the more you use it, kind of the less you actually have to use it, because you're creating this direct pathway and it's bypassing anything else. And remember, the golden rule that I keep saying is ask questions. So, so make sure that, you're ask the spirit, what does this mean? What do I do with that? Sometimes he just wants to bathe you in his presence and in this beautiful atmosphere of being loved. And sometimes if life gets heavy, it takes me up out of that heaviness and into that, right? So it's a very powerful tool, guys. So I've got to give you some warnings here. So once this starts to happen to you, it can be a bit of an outbreak, guys. You could end up laughing. You can end up crying. You can feel so joyful. You feel like you're beside yourself. You might want to dance. You might want to sing. You might start vibrating from the tip of your head to the bottom of your toe. You might tap into abilities you never knew you even had. Like it just shifts so much stuff, and it's a lot of fun. So let me talk about some of the things that will stop you from stepping into this. Is self-consciousness is a big one. A fear of the supernatural, fear of feeling silly, of what others might think. You might feel shame. There could be a mind block in that some people preach that it's not for today, or it's not for everyone. Not accepting that it's for you. And honestly, the biggest one I feel is this, religious programming. It's like, well, only the elite can have it. Only the chosen can have this gift. No, if you want it, it's there for you. So we're all designed to have relationship with God. We are created in his image. We are partnered with him in all things. We are equipped to bring his purpose and plan on the earth and throughout the galaxies and all of creation. We are all unique and purpose-built to fulfill our destiny. Having been given access to all spiritual gifts and realms, as it is in heaven, the spirit realm, so it is on the earth. Now, I want to say this. This gift is not waiting for you to die, so then you access the spiritual realm, right? That's what we've been taught, a lot of us. When you die, then you have spiritual encounters. When you die, then you can see God face to face. That is religious rhetoric to keep you shut down. That is not the heart of God towards you. So this language is, each of us will sound different. We'll all have different dialogues. We all express it differently because it's unique to you. So I used to teach young people how to tap into this, and my son was part of this group, and he decided after, and I'm going to share screen this, he decided afterwards that he as I was teaching a whole room of people, this is what he wrote up on the board that I was teaching from. Can you all see this? Can you see that? And I turned around and I laughed. He even signed it. You can see
half of it, Dottie.
Only half. Okay, sorry, don't know how to do this after I've been so good. Is that better?
Go to the square. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
There you go. So this is what my son put up on my teaching board. And then he wrote speaking tongues for beginners and he signed it. And sometimes that's exactly what it sounds like. You could get one word. You might get two words. But like any new language, when you use it, it expands, it grows. Now, I've had situations where I have spoken in Hebrew. I don't know how to speak Hebrew. I've spoken in Chinese. I went to China on a trip and spoke Chinese. It was like, I don't know how to do that, but God does. So these are some of the funds that you, this is where I'm going, guys, this is fun. Why wouldn't you want it? So, all right, hang on, let me get back. Can you guys still see me? Oh, no.
We can hear you and see you.
Oh, you can. Okay, beautiful. Oh, I'm having troubles now. Oh, all right, let's get back here. All right, so just a few more guys, hang in there with me. So how to activate? All right, you got to let go of everything. You need to open your heart, and there is surrender. There is surrendering of your own will and your own ego and your own, or if you feel that it's, going to be weird. But once you have, breathe and receive. Let it flow. Let it connect. It's like connecting to a river and letting it flow. So for those that want it, please, can you stay on the line? For those that don't want it, please, you're free to go. But I want to do an activation prayer with you all. Who's up for that? Okay. So this is the activation prayer. After we breathe and surrender, sorry, guys, I can't see you. So let me see. You have a lot of
hands raised. You're good.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. I can't see anything. I've lost you. So let me try this. Oh, okay. Hang on. I might find you again. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. All right, beautiful. So, all right, everybody, take a breath. I want you to breathe, just relax. Remember, time to surrender. Like I said, just hand it all over. And then I want you to say this prayer after me. Obviously, you'll all be in mute, so you can do this. Remember, this is an offer. Now, if you don't get this straight away, if this isn't activated straight away, don't get frustrated. Let it percolate. Sit on it. Remember, it took me a couple of weeks. So, and then once I've led you through this, I'm going to start speaking in tongues so that you can hear it. Now, if you need to borrow some of my words, then feel free to, because you want to activate it. You want to start releasing it, and it bypasses your mind. So when you bypass your mind, because it'll tell you this is stupid, right? The enemy will come and tell you this is stupid, because this is one tool that he is so afraid of, because when we speak in this language, he does not know what we are communicating, and he doesn't know the plan that God is downloading to you. Sometimes when I'm dealing with situations, I only stay in tongues or my light language so that he cannot come and counteract or attack what I'm doing. All righty? Okay. Okay. Big breath, everybody. Breathe in and just relax right now. If you already have this language, awesome. Come along and pray. All right. This is what. So I want you to say after me. I ask for all the gifts of the Spirit that are available to me, that are mine by God's design. I choose to activate my light language. I let go of all the lies, programming, and all the things hindering me from receiving and activating this spiritual gift. I choose to receive it this day because in Him I move and have my being, life and life abundantly. Right, I'm going to start to pray in tongues. And I want you to, Spirit's moving right now. I can feel it. I just release that onto every single one of you. Just thank you, God, that you're opening up your children's hearts to more of you, more of what you have for them. I thank you for your love that surpasses all things. Asharo basela kiaro mashando sela bokoyate la heando. Erabakosande sherabakiande shete la bokoyande. Remember, you need to move your mouth for it to come out. Shodabasande kikialo bosoroba kiande. Esela koyando shondora basete la bosoto she nera monea keke asotora bashande. Just receive that right now. Receive that. Just the flow of the Spirit is very strong. Arabasaro bashete la bokeande shetera boson. Remember, you've got to move your mouth. You've got to work with it. You may not get that bubbly sensation in your stomach, but that doesn't matter. Just move with it anyway. Arabakiande shete la bokiande shete la bosoro bashate la hoyano no keate se rabo shekiande se. Ora makiande she se kiando se kiate te arabakiande shendaro basote. Thank you, God. Thank you for your presence and your power. Wow. I'm going to interpret what I just said. Woo, whoa, Shay. Ostarabashede. Wow. Now, while the intent is for you guys to have this breakthrough if you want it. But then while I'm praying, God's saying to me, He says, tell my children that I hunger for them to come into all that I have for them. I'm drawing them into the more that I have. I'm drawing them into a place where they are no longer restricted. They are no longer bowed down. They are no longer confined to the things of this world. And I'm calling them up. I'm calling them up and into the very heart that I have for them, the very heart of my presence, the very heart of my purpose, and the very heart of my being. I am drawing them. I am calling them. And I am touching their hearts today afresh with a sense of urgency for the things that need to be accomplished in their life. Because I love them, says the Lord. Wow. Whoa. Whew. Thank you, God. God is always ready to meet us, guys. He is always there and wanting to engage with you. He is not a God that He is from afar watching. He is right with you right now. Those that have hearts that are opened, He's in you. He's with you. He's around you. Let Him love you. Let Him guide you. Let Him draw you closer, because it's a beautiful place to be. It's the only place to be. The spirit realm is more my home than this earth is. Which is even scriptural. Who got filled then? Who got speaking in tongues? Show of hands would be really good. Was that Obi? Was that you, Dal? Did you put your hand up? Yeah. Emily? Inga? Awesome. I love to see your faces. All right. Okay, don't give up on it, guys. If you want it, it will come. It will be there. It will open up to you. And Emily, awesome. So the most important thing here is that you keep practicing it, keep walking in it, right? Be very mindful of it, and use it, even if it's. So just use it and practice it. Remember, it's like a new language. It's like me learning Chinese. It's one word at a time or two words at a time, unless God drops it. But, just stay in it. And if you're facing a situation where you need clarity or you need wisdom or what's going on here, tap into that light language. Honestly, it will give you clarity. It will give you direction. It will, cause everything about you to align. Okay, I'm getting some beautiful feedback here. Kathy, you've got it. Everyone that has said, I felt a sense of joy, I felt like I could see lightning, all that sort of thing, you've got it. You just now got to, even if you just, say one word, Shandarabakia, Sunday, it's a Sunday, whatever. It's whatever. Just go with it. You will find it will explode. And then work with it and try it. Like I did it every day. I used to do it for days, all the time. If I wasn't talking to English to someone, I was praying in the spirit. Some people, when you really get the language verbally, you can pray in your head in the spirit as well. So if there's a situation, I'll just go in the spirit in my head. But I found the power of it is by verbally speaking it out. Sometimes it'll come in a song. You'll start to sing. And, I've done many of that. I've sung in the light language and people are being healed. It's not what I'm saying, it's what is coming through me. So, grab hold of that, because it brings joy, it lifts you up, it changes your circumstances, it changes the way you see things. It helps deprogram the what we've been programmed with. It's like a big poof, and I like those. And I love the sense of the presence and the power of God that's on it. So what doesn't matter what I face, I always know that his presence and his power is there. And if it feels like I'm coming under something, then I speak it and it shifts it straight away. The enemy can't stand it. He can't even be in its presence. And he hates it when it gets activated or people start using it, because when you have a conversation with someone, he can hear what you're saying in English or whatever language you are. He understands that. He doesn't understand the language of God or the Spirit. All right. Yay. Is everyone good? Gil, you good? Who already spoke in the language before? I love it when I see your faces, guys. Yeah, Jenny. Anyone else? Gil?
I don't think I have, but me and Jenny talked about it because sometimes I used to just speak. It was more like a Indian. Like I used to do like I don't know where it came from, but
Well, you've got it, man. I went and did a property clearing last week, and there was an Aboriginal that had been murdered on the property. I started speaking Aboriginal to clear the land. So it's like, don't go, oh no, that can't be right. Because like I said, I spoke Chinese, I've spoken Hebrew. I'm like, I don't know those language, guys. I'm really not intelligently super smart. I'm a very simple person. And I like being simple because then God can do whatever he wants with me. But yeah, that's great, Gil, but you need to practice that more. You need to start speaking into your situations and into your life so that you start lining up with what all that God has for you. Right? And not only that, it's like we got to come out of, looking for our issues. It's sometimes, again, religion, and I know I help people get breakthrough, but I don't want to stay looking at people's issues. I want people to come up and break out of those issues and be equipped and empowered to deal with them themselves. That's why I don't go, okay, you need to see me every week for the next 10 weeks. If you need me, I'm here for you. But I really want to equip you to stand in your own power directly from the heart of God. It's the same as there's a mentality, and I'm going to challenge this, is that we are constantly looking for others to pray for us or get prophetic words because we don't take the responsibility to get it for ourselves. I understand that people are young and they're stepping into it, and I'm happy to help those. Absolutely. I'm happy to help anybody, but please hear what I'm trying to say here. I sense in the spirit that there's a time for maturity. And scripturally, it says, we all constantly want milk. It's time to eat the meat, right? So you think of milk, it's like a bottle. We want to be bottle fed all the time instead of getting hold of the meat and getting real and getting down there with God to start really growing in our authority, in our dominion, and in who we were designed to be. That's where we're heading, guys. That's why, number one, take responsibility is key, right? If you've engaged with the light language today, it's your responsibility to grow it, not mine. All right? So if you've got it today or you get it tomorrow, you might wake up on your bed all of a sudden going, wake up your partner. Don't stop it. Go with it, because there's something that's going to be activated within you that will change your life. Everyone all good? You all still love me?
Are you taking questions on this?
I can.
Okay. Najim, go ahead.
Hey, hello, evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it a quick question related to this,
Yes.
Nadine? Yep.
It's to the question about the languages you were speaking. I felt good after you were speaking that, actually.
You felt good?
Yes,
Well,
I
that's
felt
good.
very peaceful.
Nadine, if you can really grab hold of this will really lift you out of the heaviness that sits on you. It'll break you through that.
Yes, is it like, does it have something to do to Latin? Or
It's a gift from the throne of God. It's God's heavenly language. It's a spiritual language.
Is it Hebrew? What's it?
It can be Hebrew. Sometimes I speak in Hebrew. I don't naturally speak Hebrew. I only speak English and tongues, light language. They're my two languages. So if someone says, can you speak other languages? I go, yeah. I speak heaven.
Yeah, but how
All
did you
right.
know that language? What
How do I, what?
is that, like a book?
Nadine,
Did you
no.
like
Yeah. You might have to go back and listen to this again, Nadine. You'll get more insight into it, I think. All right, we're running out of time here,
okay,
guys.
thank you. Very good.
Thank you. All right, everyone. Love you guys. Next week, I'm going to talk about ley lines and portals, but I'm going to take you the next level if you're interested. That'll be a fun one. I've got some great subjects lined up for you that I've been working on, and happy to share them with you. I'm loving the journey and I appreciate it. Thank you, Jenny, for all that you do. You're a beautiful, beautiful thing, you. Mwah.
Should we talk about the recordings? I've got them all updated.
Go for it.
If
Go
you
for
haven't gotten your notification, all of Dottie's recordings are now re-edited, cleaned up, and they're all posted in one spot in the spiritual protection and expansion area. There's at the very top, it's pinned. And if you click on that, it's technically a course. So I put them all in one. If you go in there, you can see them all in order. But we didn't put dates on them, but they are in order of how she taught them. And then as we build, every time we have a recording, it's going to go in there. And then I'll also send out a notification. So, and I'll be much more on time. It took me 3 days to do all of that. So editing takes time. And our Empower person, I don't know about LFM. I know Dave's quick, but Empower person, she handles that stuff within 24 hours. So when I edit, it takes a little bit longer, but we get them up and they're all up there and every teaching's amazing. I think I'm gonna have time to get this one done right away. So check in the morning.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, Jenny. Thank you for all your work and love you guys. Have a great week and I'll see you next time.
Thank you, Daddy.
Bye.
Jenny.
Bye.
Thank you, Dottie. Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, Dottie. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Love
Dottie.
you too. See you later. See you, Todd. Did I explain that all right?
Oh, are you kidding? Everybody loved it. No one left. No one.
Okay, cool.
No, it was excellent. And Najim, I'm glad you answered his question. He's been coming to our Wednesday prayers and I've been praying over him. And I saw that he is gonna just grow spiritually. So for you to answer that question really lent to because he's very interested.
Yeah.
And I had this word of knowledge that he's going to grow very spiritual very quickly. Like God's just going to, and he in the chat, he was asking if he could ask a question. That's why I asked, I wasn't thinking, but he stuck to the point. He seems to be very attentive to that. But anyway, so thank you for engaging with him on that. I think that meant a lot to him.
All right. Yeah, he needs he needs I can feel as soon as he speaks, I'm like, oh,
yeah. Well, he said he felt lighter just while you were praying.
Yeah.
So yeah. And he has a language barrier, so he's
that's why I thought, oh, maybe because I was like, oh, did he just come in? Like, did he miss everything? Because
you know what happened? He got knocked out and then he came back in when you were asking everybody, do you want to learn your light language or whatever? That's when he knocked out and then he came back in. So
okay, cool. All right, cool.
Okay.
Alrighty. Thanks, girl. Thanks for all your work.
You're welcome.
Good job.
Great job.
High five.
High five.
High 10.
All right. Bye-bye.
See you.